Hey everybody, my name is Siyuan. I'm dedicated to help small and medium-sized business to be able to adopt AI, learn how to use AI, and to try to save money with AI. And today I want to talk about one topic a lot of people has been talking a lot recently is vibe coding. And what is vibe coding and how you can leverage vibe coding in your small and medium-sized lifestyle business to save money, improve the efficiency, and cut down the cost. Let's take a look at what's the definition of vibe coding. You can basically describe what you're trying to build. It can be a workflow, it can be a document processing software in plain English, processing, trying to understand what you are trying to build and start writing all these front end, back end, HTML, JavaScript, all these complicated code for you, and it will try to execute on compiling, execute on deployment, all these complicated things. Basically, you don't really have to know anymore. This kind of work used to be done through the traditional process of you talk to a software agency, describe you workflow you're trying to automate, and then they will take in, work with their product managers, scope down what are the technical details to implement it, and they have engineers to work on this. Then after maybe 3, 4, or 5 months, they come back with a prototype or the first version. Then the business owner will say, okay, this doesn't look good, these adjustments or touch-ups here and there. The whole process can take up to 6 months or even a year. But what AI vibe coding can basically accomplish this, or for any business owner, is shrink the whole process. It's called SDLC cycle, software development life cycle, to a couple minutes. That is what a vibe coding can help a lot of small, medium-sized business owner to accomplish. There's zero coding knowledge required, and 90% of the code will be AI generated. And this is what's happening. My background is in tech. I used to work for Microsoft, Salesforce, all the big names out there. And I would say a lot of my peers, even in the big tech company industry, they started using similar vibe coding idea in their day-to-day workflow, and that's actually required by Salesforce if you guys look up online. And Salesforce is trying to force all their engineer to start using vibe coding kind of tool, cursor to generate the code and to cut down their development lifecycle. Vibe coding is common. Everybody should learn how to do vibe code. It's very easy, actually applicable for business owners to do their own vibe coding, to build a landing page, to automate certain workflow. Let's dive into how what's the benefits of traditional and vibe coding, what's the cost, what are the pros and cons. For traditional dev shop or hire developer, usually the cost is the north of $50,000. The timeline is 3 to 6 months. It's very common. And for vibe coding, all the tools, I'm gonna talk through all these tools one by one with you guys in the next few slides. But for vibe coding, the cost is very, very minimal. Usually it ranges from $20 to $100 per month, depends on how many hours of the day you spend working with these vibe coding tools. And just describe it, right? It's a simple process, but usually the cost, I would say, range from $20 to $100. It's a dramatic cost reduction. Let's talk about these tools one by one. First tool I want to talk about is called V0. It's actually a vibe coding or a front-end building tool rolled out by a company called Vercel. And for Vercel, what they are really good at is they actually hosting a lot of JavaScript, which is the traditional front-end framework by itself. It was infra/low-code company, hosting infra company. Then they catch up on this vibe coding train. They're really good at security first, and it's kind of technical company, but they do enable. They have this sub product called V0, help with vibe coding. You can describe the idea, the chat on the left side, and the generate the results on the right side. That's pretty much what a general vibe coding interface looks like, and it's good. And what's not so good about it, I after spending a lot of time vibe coding on V0, I realized that the backend side of things on V0 it's not that great. If you're trying to build relatively complicated workflow, or you're trying to build into more advanced sign up, sign in, two-factor authentication, all these different functionalities, V0 just not that advanced for that purpose. I would say V0 is in the category in my own use case. I would suggest to quickly prototype a landing page. I think it's a very good use case for that, and they have a community side column which you can leave comments, and you can use the community templates. Is very handy. Then the next tool I want to talk about is Lovable. I would say Lovable is probably the most trendy, popular platform right now. They just raised $120 million, valuation north of $1 billion. They are growing really fast, based in Europe. It's actually a European company. The good side of it, it's big, it's growing really fast. It's also very developer friendly because they give you the code afterwards. It's very easy to access from a data code hosting hub. It's called GitHub. If you guys never heard of it, that's not a big deal, but it's very good for if you prototype something on Lovable and later on you want to hand it over to a dev team. So I think that's a very good use case for using Lovable. And what not so good about Lovable, I think, just personal opinion, that it can get pricey relatively quickly, and also it's a little bit complex for beginners because it has built-in sign up, sign in functionality with Supabase. And if you're just trying to prototype a quick landing page, I think that's a little bit overkill to just get started with Lovable, especially if you're not looking to these extra features. But for V0, that's actually the V0's benefits. For Replit, I would say Replit also it started as a infra workflow company many years ago, and they catch up on the vibe coding train after the Cloud 3.7 model gets really good at writing code. I think they just integrate the Cloud 3.7 model into their building infrastructure. So the good side of it, it's actually they are good with automated testing. The testing infra they set it for you. They also have built-in database. They have a lot of extensive integrations. I would say so far it's probably most advanced out of the three we talked about. If you have some relatively advanced requirement, you think about building this tool for a long time on yourself, you don't want to hand it over to another dev team, I think a Replit is a good option for that. Base 44. Base 44, I think some of you guys might heard of the story. The solo founder started this company about 8 months ago and just sold to, I think, Wix for $80 million. So what the good side is, it's actually a really all-in-one solution for business owners to building a landing page, and it's very simple interface. They do have a lot of sign up, sign in, and the database function that is baked in. I would say my biggest concern about Base 44 is the acquisition, actually, because they acquired by Wix, which is a landing page building company, right? I'm a little worried about if I have my own business and put all my landing page workflows, all these things on Wix. At the end of the day, I think they are not growing, usually just slow down right after the acquisition for a while, and it's less driven as a team to keep iterating and improving on the features of Base 44. So that's my concern about it, but I think it's a good platform in general. If you already using Wix, I think there might be some synergies over there. Take a look at Base 44. For complete beginners, I would recommend start with Base 44 if you just want to build a landing page, and if you want, or zero, that's totally fine. If you already have some technology knowledge, or you think you're tech savvy, try Lovable. You really need security, go with V0. Success tips, I think when you are trying to do vibe coding, I'm going to release other videos specifically about how to do vibe prompts and vibe coding, what are the principles when using these tools. For the sake of this video, I just want to give you guys a basic introduction about all these different tools. And you always start with simple MVP. Don't expect perfection the first try. Always perfection is the enemy of progress, right? So don't expect perfection at the first try, and always ask AI why it's made certain choices. Just think about it as a person, as your co-founder, or as your technical consultant, or as your dev agency. You ask why is the key point of being able to improve, and iterate and improve gradually over time. That's how everybody learn and improve over time. And for ROI, as said before, traditional cost $50,000 a year, vibe coding cost maximum $1,200 a year. It's just a good deal for everybody. You have to hop on this tree, guys. There's it's a no-brainer. At least learn the skill, learn how to work with AI to build something cool. It's well worth it. And ready to build, get it going. Leave your comments down below if you want. Listen, hear some other knowledge to talk about from a technologist who has been doing web coding for a long time, who's building my own web coding company. Leave the comments down below, subscribe to my video, and I'm going to talk about how to do basic prompting in maybe in this week or later this week. Just leave the comments down below. Let me know what else you guys want to know about. All right. Hope you all have a great day and see you in the next video.